What up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka is that lube in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? aka let me just get one lick from that lollipop. Oh man. A little lick from the lollipop. I just want one lick. Oh god. Oh, aka the Kamaki Tiger Dropper. Oh man. AKA the Nigga Lil Master. Bringing you yet another episode of Switches Sites, episode 185. Today's date is November 9th, 2023. Damn, this year is going quick. It is November. Cue that meme song. I got green bean potato. You name it. Cue it up, cause we almost there. For those that don't know, Switches Sites podcast is a video game centered podcast, solely done by your boy. Where I just talk about video games and news and what I've been playing / watching as well. So, damn. Well, what's been going on? Happy Like a Dragon Gaiden release day / Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer day as well. Or at least later tonight. Well, the thing technically, Like a Dragon Gaiden dropped last night, and Modern Warfare 3 had the early campaign, which we'll talk about later, that you could play early before the official release. I'm assuming later tonight. So, yeah. Other than that, nothing else has been too crazy. Marvel's coming out tonight. Definitely plan to see that. Maybe, what else? I don't know. Hey, it is definitely a packed month for sure. Like pretty much every November is packed with releases and other various stuff. So it's just a part of the territory. You know what I mean? It's just a part of the territory. So, without further ado, let's stop the dilly-dallying and get right into it. I never thought I would see the day, but yet I did. Grand Theft Auto has finally, Grand Theft Auto 6 has finally been announced. I thought we'd see it, but we did. We did see it. Basically an announcement of an announcement. So from this was at least initially broken by Jason Schreier from Bloomberg in regards to Rockstar planning to announce Grand Theft Auto 6 as early as this week, and will release a trailer in December, which was basically confirmed, I think, the following day, where Rockstar themselves on Twitter, they officially announced, hey guys, yeah, we're announcing Grand Theft Auto 6. Stay tuned next month for a trailer. Blah 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 blah. So pretty much that it's kind of surreal, but like that's it, It's been over a decade. It's been a decade since the original 5th game in the series. That is crazy. But I mean, hey, that's Rockstar. They not going to try to push anything, they're gonna take their time with it. They surely will. So that is crazy. It has been a literal. It's been over a decade since we've seen the last Grand Theft Auto. Technically, not obviously taking into account the re-releases and ports and stuff like that. So it's crazy. So it is anticipated for it to be released. The trailer with that impeccable time, and Jeff Keighley got he was saying 30 days until the Game Awards, roughly like I think about an hour after Jason Schreier broke that news out initially. So I think it's probably a pretty safe bet that we'll see this at the Game Awards, the actual trailer itself at the Game Awards next month. Well, yeah, pretty much about a month from now. So hey, so that feels like a given, at least something to be anxiously anticipating, awaiting. And of course, like Rockstar's moniker with their trailers, they give you a lot to chew on with them trailers, for sure. Considering how long we potentially are going to wait for this to come out. The optimist in me would hope next fall of 2024, but as previously before, Rockstar has had some issues releasing their games on the date and time for the most part. Especially a game of this scale, you never know, it might be delayed as well. But I mean, given how long it's been since the last one, officially, technically, I don't know. They might actually land, hopefully, if the proposed release date is next year, which we don't even know that yet, technically, as of yet. So, there is that. Man, it's kind of like a disbelief, because there's definitely been the tinfoil hats, and people been rumoring that we were gonna hear something like I think last month, but we didn't, and now we're hearing some stuff this month. So it's kind it's kind of like the what is it, the boy who cried wolf, in a way, which I don't know. It's kind of you could kind of put on Rockstar's end to an extent, but I mean, people feverishly want Grand Theft Auto. I mean, as indicated, especially from 5 and GTA Online, which has probably been its biggest breadwinner. So, yeah, I'm hyped though, as pretty much a pretty big GTA fan. I'm definitely looking forward to whatever we see come, more than likely the Game Awards next month. So let's get hyped. Get hyped. Actually, let me read this statement to provide a little bit more clarity. From Sam Hauser. In 1998, Rockstar Games was founded on the idea that video games could come to be as essential to culture as any other form of entertainment. And we hope that we have created games you love in our efforts to be part of that evolution. We are very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. Thank you, Sam Hauser. So, there you go. GTA 6 exists, is real, is tangible, is tangible. Even though we technically got those leaks a while back too, I forgot about that. But on an official scale, that it is ready to be presented, and at least presumably being put down the tracks to be released in a somewhat reasonable time frame. That time frame presumably being more than likely next fall of next year. So we shall see. We shall see. I'm looking forward to it. I know that much. I know that much. Moving on. Steam Deck OLED has been officially announced. Earlier today, actually, well, presumably leaked by GameSpot, but it seems like it was just like a weird, maybe mistiming, like maybe they were off by maybe 30 minutes or something like that. Or maybe it could have been just the other way where there was like, it seemed like it was planned essentially because other various outlets and media started piling in terms of like, revealing videos and stuff. So presumably a lot of folks got this early and we did not know about it. So nonetheless, the Steam officially announced the Steam Deck OLED model, which is now going to be the official model going forward for the Steam Deck, while they phase out the LCD models that we knew and loved before before now that the juicy, luscious, vivacious even OLED is now been announced. So doing some interesting like tiering now. I think there used to be the 64 gig model, which was the lowest tier. That's technically phased out officially. And at least the lowest model is now the 256 gig model, which is the lowest, and LCD. It seems like that technically will be a consistent model. And then now with the new OLED model, the middle tier is 512 gigabytes. Got Wi-Fi 6E. So if you have a capable router, you'll be able to, utilize those speeds, which ultimately results in much faster download speeds there. 50 watt hour battery, which is an improvement from the previous Steam Deck. They save 3 to 12 hours of gameplay, or I think I've seen in some reviews 60% increase from the original Steam Deck. A 45 watt power supply with a 2.5 meter cable. I suck with the meters, the feet. What is 1.5 meters to 2 feet? I'm gonna assume 10 feet or something. 8 feet. Okay, that's fair. That is reasonable. So you got that, of course, carrying case and all that stuff. So that is the 512 gig model. Then there's a 1 terabyte model, which is $649. You got the 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, 800p OLED screen, and you got the premium anti-glare etch glass that was of the previous 512 gig model of the LCD, tier, if you will. You got Wi-Fi 6 as well. I think the only difference really is the carrying case with a removable liner and the anti-glare and the 1 terabyte. And I think there is this model as well as the limited edition model, which is also pretty much the same exact spec, but you get the special they got that lustrous transparent casing, see-through, and then they got the what looks like a red, I guess some people would say orange, but I don't know, it's kind of like a whatever mix between red orange like accents throughout the deck with the analog sticks, the power button, some of the fans and stuff behind it. That boy looked luscious, let me tell you. That boy looked luscious. Looked so luscious. So yeah. We finally got OLED. I think that's generally what's everybody's complaints with the original Steam Deck when it came out, was the fact that it wasn't OLED. I think being the main issue. And then oh yeah, I forgot, they did say it is a 90 hertz screen. So not kept at 60 anymore, but 90 hertz. If you got certain games that can and definitely will be able to take advantage of that. So that is also another dope addition to this display. And I think technically it runs cooler because it is not as hot, because it is more efficient battery wise, which in turn results in a better, I think 65% better battery life than the OG Steam Deck. So I mean, when you put it all on paper, it definitely is a lot of improvements from the base initial models of the Steam Deck. So it looks gorgeous. I think also the screen, it technically is bigger screen wise. You get, even though it's encased the same, there is more real estate being utilized. So the screen is technically bigger, being able to minimize on the bezels essentially. So you get more screen within the same form factor, to my understanding. So it's looking great. It's looking great. Yeah, at least for me, I don't know. I definitely would want to get one, but I don't know. I always look at like, would I even be able to, as somebody who doesn't really extensively do portable gaming, I don't know if I would really benefit from it, because I barely, play portably, if at all. And if I have the option, I generally would like have this docked and play it on a TV or something. But then again, it's like I would just play on a PC, So it's a very niche situation. But yeah, it looks from what I've seen, it looks really, really, really good. But and I guess there was some kerfuffle in terms of people saying that like they weren't going to do this, but I guess that wasn't really cemented in stone or whatever. But in regards to the Steam Deck 2, they said that they haven't found the technology yet to like fully go towards a Steam Deck 2. So at least this seemingly will be the standard for a good while, if anything. So that is at least good to be aware of, So, hey, Steam Deck. I mean, as somebody who's used it generally before, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. You just need to know some know-how in terms of Linux and stuff like that, of course. But in terms of like, even if you don't want to use that, you could generally have a pretty good time. This seems to be still the most accessible portable PC gaming handheld out there when it comes to that. So yeah, that Wi-Fi 6E though, that is a game changer in of itself. Obviously if you have the capability, if you have like a gig plus, that is where it'll definitely benefit you the most there. So 30 grams lighter, or 5% lighter technically. Yeah, I understand. Man, Steam Deck is decking. You love to see it though. Happy for Valve in that respect. I mean, wasn't as successful with the Steam console, but now at least kind of essentially doing the same thing in a way, since you can dock this and consoleize it more or less. But crazy, out of nowhere, they go on sale next week, November 16th. So there you go. Steam Deck OLED. I did not see that coming. Not gonna lie to you. Moving on. Xbox will start banning unofficial third-party controllers. This was via well, this was pretty much through the grapevines, where gamers actually started seeing that they got this message when using their third party controllers, which a very good majority of gamers have. Specifically, the Brook Gaming adapters, which they basically let you use, mainly used probably mostly by the fighting game community, where it can use adapters like fight sticks and stuff that technically aren't originally compatible with an Xbox Series console, but through an adapter that essentially translates it to be an adaptable controller, works that way. But now they get a weird message that basically says, come this certain date, I think November 11th or something like that, we will be third-party controllers will no longer be usable on the Xbox platform, something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's the message, and people start figuring like, what the hell does this mean? Unauthorized accessory. I've been using this for the longest, and now it's not going to be compatible anymore. So, which is messed up. So basically, the intent, it seems, for this is to charge third party controller makers a fee to license their controller with Microsoft, which in turn would technically, in theory, let that said controller be allowed. But I think a lot of these companies would not want to pay that. So in turn, this likely would result in those controllers being basically paperweights in a way. You could probably use them with PC more often than not, but that's besides the point. That I think this definitely hurts seemingly mostly the fighting game community, because those are probably the majority of folks that do use these specialized controllers. Obviously other people do as well, but this seemingly is the community that have voiced their like disagreement, disdain, if you will, with this change mostly, which is it is messed up, because it's like, these are third party controllers I'm trying to use, and the fact that the Series XS has been out for like more than 3 years now, and now they're starting to change the policies and whatnot, is messed up. Is very messed up. So I don't know. It feels like this is something that just obviously will be backed up on reneged in some way, you know what I mean? Like, where they're just not gonna go forward with this. They're actually, guys, we've heard you. We know that controller, third party controller priority is of your most importance. So we are now in turn going back on that change. Who knows? But at least from Brook, the company that makes at least most of these adapters and controllers that are presumably going to be affected by this, they said, we extend our, dear gamers, we extend our heartfelt appreciation for your unwavering support and interest in Brook. We find it necessary to share crucial information with you regarding our Xbox console related products, which may encounter functional disruptions in the near future. And they show the affected products: Wingman XP2 XP Fighting Board, partial functionality affected for Xbox platform support. So I assume these are devices that have wide compatibility, but specifically, obviously, for the Xbox, they're affected there. So recently, we have received player feedback concerning these products when used on Xbox consoles, latest OS version, blah, blah, blah. During online gameplay, an error message may appear. Connected accessory is not authorized. We deeply regret any inconvenience this may cause you. The Brook engineering team is fully committed to developing a solution to maintain product quality and functionality. Please trust that we will spare no effort in identifying potential solutions. Once further updates become available, we will promptly notify you through our official community platforms. So it seems like this is targeted mainly towards like cheat devices, I'd assume, like Cronus devices and things that basically are kind of cheap measures that, like, at least I messed with one a while back, where it was like a Cronus device where you connect the controller via like USB to this USB dongle and plug it in. This is specifically for PlayStation, at least. And basically you could do, at least for Call of Duty, a lot of like very unfair hacks. Like you can like rapid fire single fire weapons and stuff like that, which in a lot of cases give you an unfair advantage in things like that. I know some Destiny stuff in terms of various controls. I think more so for like farming and things like that, doing stuff while you're away and things of that nature. So I that's what I would assume that this is generally targeted towards, but you could see the other side where it might be some like money hungriness, some backdoor shady deals, if you will, to try to get recoup some more money when it comes to, devices, whatever. So it I guess it's hard to see now, but at least initially it definitely feels very bad. I guess the biggest thing is we don't know specifically who this affects when it comes to third party controllers. Like, I believe or assume that if said company, third party controller company, pays Microsoft to be licensed or whatever, then those said controllers would then be allowed. But we don't know if these companies will actually do that. More than likely they'll just back out and say, hey guys, sorry, Microsoft did this, we're not paying the fee or whatever, so sorry, so who knows really. But yeah, that is not a good look on Microsoft's end. I could definitely see if it was targeted specifically towards, hey, we're targeting Cronus devices, or devices that manipulate your controller, where you can like plug in a controller and then where the controller is being emulated, and then you can use some other controller or something like that. But even then, I think that's that even reminds me, like, considering like the accessibility controllers for, like, disabled people that can't use traditional controllers that we can. It's like, is this definitely gonna affect them as well? So it's a lot of it seems to be a lot of mystery, but at least initially it feels like this is going to be very strict and rule out a lot of controllers that at least a lot of people are using otherwise. So I don't know, man. I guess we'll see, but yeah, at least initially it does not look great. So moving on. Resident Evil 9, via Insider Gaming, it was revealed that Resident Evil 9 has the biggest budget of the series being claimed. So, being claimed by a prominent Resident Evil insider that Resident Evil 9, which has reportedly been in development since 2018, boasts the biggest budget in franchise history. It's supposedly a monumental title that will bring to a close the arc that has run since 2017's Resident Evil 7 was released, which brought about a complete revision to the well-established Resident Evil formula. This seems to be shared by Dusk Golem, the insider, revealed that Resident Evil 9 is costing Capcom a pretty penny, but that's because it's the most sizable game in the series ever. Despite being in development since 2018, it's reportedly not going to be released until 2025. So there's still a little while to wait. The two things I've said about it publicly is Resident Evil 9 is the biggest budget and longest development time of any RE game to date. It's been in dev since 2018, probably won't release until 2025 at the earliest, and its development going super well, a la RE4. RE4 was actually released sooner than expected after the initial reboot due to development going surprisingly great and smoothly. Second is Capcom have considered RE9 to be a closing chapter for a few things to move on to from there to new story arcs and focuses, take the series in new directions. So RE9 is sort of both a closing and beginning chapter for things in Capcom's eyes. So it makes sense. I think before this, I think technically it was RE6. I want to say. Could be wrong in that. But I say that because that could be just as concerning because, you know, RE6 put all that money into it and it became too ambitious. And I think that was pretty much that was a part of RE6's demise in a way where it just got too ambitious, and that was a problem for the game in a lot of ways, where, you know, it was a lot of stuff that could have been cut out, too much. It was too long, which is surprising to say for a Resident Evil game. But yeah, for 6, I'd say yeah, RE6 was too long. Like literally the one campaign was at least would have been a legit game in of itself, if that makes sense. It was like, felt like it was pretty much like 3 games in one in a way. But I digress. So yeah, that is my biggest concern. But considering that the development time that this is presumably been going on since 2018, it I don't know. It hopefully I assume they learn from RE6, so they'll know not to go that route, but just to make a very, I don't know, condensed, you know, cohesive Resident Evil that you know, hopefully we'll all love and enjoy. But who knows, man? Who knows? Some people are saying that maybe this could be due to going open world. It's kind of hard to fathom. Well, we kind of got a taste of it with RE3 remake, where, you know, we got a taste of what it potentially could have looked like if RE3 was open world, where, you know, it seemed like there was an aspect of the game that was cut, that like you could travel within Raccoon City like way more extensively than, you know, what we got in the official release of RE3 remake. So I could see that. I could see open world. Yeah, that definitely could happen for sure. Yeah. Well, who knows, man? I don't know what to expect with RE9. Technically, Ethan Winters' his storyline is presumably done. So I don't know. Maybe they just bring all of the previous main characters back, kind of like the movie, the RE movie. I forgot what it's called, Death Island, and bring them back yet again, and maybe make it more conclusive, and like what, officially retire all the classic OG RE characters. I don't know. Who knows at this point? Who even knows? Will they go co-op? Will they bring co-op back? It's a lot of possibilities. A lot of possibilities. Moving on. Then why did I forget this? Why did I forget it? So the PS5 digital, which is the new model that will come and soon technically replace the current PS5 model, had a comes with a well, depending on which one you get, you can get a optional disk drive for the console if you wanted. If you just initially bought the digital version of the console, but down the road want to change your mind and actually add a disk drive, which you can do with this model now. Way more expensive, but if you then to get it with the disk drive already, but nonetheless, if you do decide to do that, man, you might be in a bad shape if the servers go down the road, because of that you have to do an online check to basically pair the disk drive with the PS5. So pretty much, ironically, you will need online connectivity to basically authenticate the disk drive to your PS5 on the servers. So at least from a preservation standpoint, this is definitely is not a good sign, because down the road, if you wanted to play this offline, technically you could not, because you would have to do an online check to enable the disk drive functionality. So something to consider, something to be aware of. I guess the only workaround, if you are like literally focused on preservation, would just be to get a disk drive model instead of the digital only with a disk drive separately. So I guess when you kind of think about it that way, if you are preservation minded anyway, you more than likely are going to get the disk drive model to begin with already in the first place. So it kind of weighs itself out, I think. So yeah, damn. But and I think some people were also pointing the fingers at Sony, like, Sony, why are you doing this? You could have did something different. But it seems like from a legality standpoint / technical standpoint, it seems like there was no other way to do that but to do what they did, with having to do one online check to enable the disk drive and associate it with your PS5. So something with the times, I guess. Like a part of the times. I don't know, man. Every day we're slowly moving away from our goal for physical media to be permanent and forever. But I digress. With that being said, that concludes all the news for this episode. Let's get into what I've been playing, which has been Alan Wake 2. Putting a good amount of time, at least so far. I think I'm about like maybe 12 hours in, I think. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. As somebody who played the original Alan Wake, which is funny, I think I played it like literally like almost a decade ago, technically. Yeah, I remember playing it on PC specifically. I think there was a sale at some point. I'm like, you know what? I like Max Payne. Max Payne is one of my favorite series of all time. I was like, you know what? I never really played Alan Wake. Let me see what it's about. And that's what I did. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I played the PC version, and then I think I jumped on the Xbox Arcade like spin-off / side thing, it felt like, which was Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Pretty much had a lot of the similar mechanics, shine a flashlight on an enemy, weaken them, and then, shoot them. But yeah, something I felt like I kind of missed in a way was that I think I probably should have watched. I'm probably gonna take care of that at some point, but I probably should have watched a recap video of the events of what happened in Alan Wake 1 because it's some stuff I forgot. So 10 years, I think that's that's understandable. So yeah, I definitely plan to rectify that as well. Nothing too crazy. I don't feel like completely out the loop, but some aspects I was like, I don't recall any of that. But yeah, it's funny. I recall them saying that like you don't need to remember, you don't need to recall the events of the first game to play this one. But I feel like at the same time, you kind of do. You kind of do. You kind of do. You kind of need to do some homework. I would say personally from playing the game so far. So, yeah, I guess technically control. Control is not necessarily as important. I'd feel playing so far, but that also would be beneficial as well. So, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoying it so far. At least initially, it wasn't grabbing me as much, but I think again that was also partially due to not getting myself a recap before going into this one. I think that would have maybe changed some factors there. But yeah, the standard just loop in gameplay seems pretty solid. Pacing feels pretty good. Yeah, at least so far, I think I wish there was more enemy variety. It feels like there's a lot of the similar enemies. I wish there's occasional variation from that, but for the most part, I think it could use a little bit more enemy variety so far from playing. I dig Saga Anderson, the new character that you play as, so you can alternate. You could pretty much alternate or switch between the characters how you feel. I guess I was a little confused by that because like apparently they said that you could just play just Saga stuff and just Alan Wake stuff, but at least just playing it without touching anything so far, it just seems to switch me back and forth, which I'm totally fine with. But if I maybe had an option, I probably would just go through all of Saga's story and then all through Alan Wake's story and play it like that. But I'm not sure how that is or if that's just the default. So I was like, let me just go with the default setting, whatever they choose, whatever they do for me, I'm just going to play it that way. So that's what I've been doing. It seems to alternate you between the two. It feels like. So but yeah, no, this game is definitely a trip. Very Twin Peaks inspired. Apparently the first game was like this, but I did not watch the Twin Peaks. I did not watch Twin Peaks when I played the first game, but I did I think specifically during the quarantine, that is when I caught up on Twin Peaks, and I was like, damn, this is literally Twin Peaks the game. So there is that. So that also kind of makes me want to replay the first one, at least to some extent. Haven't played haven't gotten Alan Wake Remastered as well. I think it is available on PS Plus, so I might dive in that way too. But yeah, I got it for Xbox Series X. It is man, that is one factor about the game too. It is gorgeous as hell. It is beautiful. The graphics are just. I had to check like, man, my Series X can do this? I didn't even I didn't even know. Yeah, it is great. Mind you, also playing on an OLED, I think that also factors into an extent too. That OLED baby, that's a game changer now in of itself. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying it. I dig the survival horror aspect they added. It definitely feels way more survival horror, of course, because there is item management and having to store items like Resident Evil. So I definitely prefer that more for this type of game than what was in the first Alan Wake. So I am thoroughly enjoying and digging that as well. Um, but yeah, no, it's just moments in this game where it's like, damn, this is next gen. Yeah, this is definitely a like, man, I don't see how they could pull this off on like a PS4 or Xbox Xbox One. You could forget about it. But yeah, I like they have this aspect or element mechanic, if you will, to the game where it is what is it? You can swap between like your mind palace, which is like basically just this kind of hub that's presumably in your head where you can like do weapon upgrades and then like figure out your case. So you have these notes and pins that you like basically deduce various aspects of cases you're working on. And when you see new things in the environment, it'll prompt you like, hey, this is a new element to the case to try and figure out. And in some cases you need to do that to kind of progress the game forward, and also ask unique questions based off that. So at first I was kind of off put a little bit by it. It felt a little too intimidating, I'd say. But the more I started playing with it, the more it did feel pretty good. So, yeah, man, Alan Wake 2. I am thoroughly digging it. It took a little bit for me to get into it, but then now I'm at the point where yeah, I'm invested. I'm invested. Dare I say, I'm motivated. Now I'm motivated. Oh man, that gets me every time. Yeah, Alan Wake 2. I've been waiting for you. That should have been the subtitle. Alan Wake 2. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting so long. What was it like? When did Alan Wake 1 come out? I think 2011. Oh, 2010. May 18th, 2010. Damn. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. So yes. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. The campaign technically came out last week, so I did play it when it dropped via early access. And man, yeah, if you've not heard in terms of the internets in regards to sentiments towards the campaign specifically, it's not great. It's not great. And I would agree. I would agree in a lot of ways. It feels very rushed, which kind of makes sense because I think there was some news from Jason Schreier himself revealing like the crunch, a lot of crunch with this game, and they only had I think like a year and a half to make this. So when you put that in perspective, I kind of at least partially feel compelled to give them a little bit more leeway, but at the same time, no. Yeah. So the biggest issue with this game is the campaign specifically, is that at least it starts you off where you're like, oh, okay, this I'm digging this. You breaking out someone out of prison. Oh, well, Makarov, really. I think that's been kind of publicly known. You start as Shadow Company breaking out Makarov from prison. That whole level scene was pretty interesting. And then the next one, you do what they call free combat missions, which is basically they drop you in what is the map? What's the Warzone 1 map? The name is losing me. Not El Mazra. Verdansk. Yeah, the original map for Warzone, Verdansk. So basically, they drop you in Verdansk, like a secluded section of Verdansk, and then have you do these various like busy missions, like no like Michael Bay fully like theatrical a scripted mission at all. No, just like a very how would I say it? A very arbitrary tedious type mission where, hey, you need to disarm like 3 bombs in the area. You got to find them and disarm them. Go ahead. And it just was not working. It felt very half-assed, like just like you could literally tell like, hey, this is clearly where they were trying to, make up for lost time, if you will. Which I think technically, if it was done right and if it was like more care put into it, technically I think that potentially could have worked, but it just felt, just the presentation, it felt too half-assed for me personally, which I think a lot of other people felt the same way too. So it's pretty much a mix of like traditional missions and then these missions, which I'd say more so though the freeform half-ass missions than these. And then there's the weird dissonance where you got these really like weighty cutscenes that go on, and then right after the cutscene, all right, Farah, go ahead and disarm and go ahead and find those packages. It's like, especially coming off from the previous Call of Duty campaigns as well, that also makes it way more glaring of a issue in of itself. Personally, I think. So you have that, and mind you, I was coming into this where I heard like some murmurings like, hey, yeah, this campaign ain't it, man. This ain't good. So part of me was thinking like maybe it's too short. My litmus is like 5 to 6 hours is generally like a typical Call of Duty campaign, which I think I was the time it took for me to fully complete this. It maybe felt longer because I was playing this across multiple days, but whatever. I wasn't fully like, I did not play this in one sitting, where maybe I might have leaned more towards that. But yeah, so I was thinking, maybe it's just too short or something like that. But then, after playing it and fully getting the full effect of it all, it's like, yeah, just those freeform missions were very much, we don't have much time to do this. We were initially gonna make this just DLC to Modern Warfare 2, but you know what? We like money, so you know what? Get to work, Sledgehammer. Go ahead and make a campaign and make this a fully fledged game to pay yet another $70-$80 on. Dude, come on, let's go. Crunch. Which is that's definitely what it felt like. So there is that, and then no spoilers, but the ending was very cliffhangery, way too for the third game in this series of the reboots, way too cliffhangery. It is probably it's probably up there with Halo 2 with like one of the worst cliffhanger endings of all time. Yeah, I'd say it's probably, at least from recent memory, it's definitely like, I feel like the worst cliffhanger in games. That's at least from recent memory, this feels like one of the worst. My assumption is that they're gonna have you use this as an excuse to do more of the raids that were in Modern Warfare 2, which nobody really want to play those because I'm showing my colors. Nobody don't even want to play those because you have to play with other people or have friends to specifically play with. That friends that want to play Modern Warfare, that want to actually do that, which that's just a whole like daunting, just already expels energy for me just to even think about that why I'm not a fan of the raids. Which, I've not really played raids in Destiny either. It's just the amount of coordination, and then you potentially gonna get pissed off at somebody gonna get pissed off at you for doing a specific, and then you spending countless hours trying to do this. Just raids don't really appeal to me, from what I've observed, at least. So that's my assumption. Either that, or they're gonna implement this in with like one of the seasons of Call of Duty multiplayer wise, and use that as an excuse. But that just, no, I'm just, that just is a very half-assed way to yeah, that ending definitely was like, okay, yeah, this sucks. I wasn't quite sure after everything was all said and done, but the ending, that's what did it for me. I'm like, oh yeah, this is horrible. So yeah. Very unfortunate. The third game in this series, and nope, it's not it, man. Multiplayer, I think, is another story. I think the multiplayer actually might be the best since Modern Warfare 2019. At least from, what I played beta wise and things like that. But outside of that, yeah, this campaign was a miss. 100% miss. Yeah. So there you go. Modern Warfare 3 campaign. Mind you, as somebody who is a fan of the campaigns, I generally do that. I play the campaign first, even way back, with the first Modern Warfare, the first, Modern Warfares. Play the campaign, beat the campaign. Okay, let's get into that multiplayer. That's been generally my flow when it comes to that. So as somebody who has thoroughly enjoyed the previous campaigns, like Modern Warfare 2, I remember was being pretty good. 2019 was pretty good as well. And, so on and so forth. So it's not like, I would rather have had a traditional scripted experience for campaign. And this definitely, I think, it showed me, as well as presumably many other gamers that are a fan of the campaign, Call of Duty's campaign, feel the same way in terms of like, yeah, this just makes me want scripted, where, people were complaining like, I think we don't need to have another traditional Call of Duty Modern Warfare experience or whatever. So yeah. Then they also had they had the equivalent of No Russian, but it felt very weird. It was like a forced experience type thing, and not actually, it didn't feel meaningful at all in any way, like to the plot story. It just felt like very heavy-handed. Yeah, definitely very heavy-handed. So unfortunate, but I think we all suspected this when this was at least rumored to be DLC, and then quote unquote now is a fully fledged quote unquote game. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure the multiplayer will make up for that. So you can't win them all, I guess. You can't win them all. And with that being said, that concludes what I've been playing. Get in what I've been watching, which has been Gen V. The finale premiered 2 weeks ago, it feels like. Yeah, that finale was pretty dope. Pretty dope. You of course had the various antics that were, reaching their conclusion mostly. Then towards the end, you got a few cameos, which I won't necessarily spoil, but you could probably guess who they are. And that was definitely dope. And at least getting confirmation after the show was said and done how these lead into the next season of The Boys, which is pretty dope. I'm always a fan of crossover stuff when it's done right. When it's done right, I'll say that. But hey, I love me some good crossover, continuity. Sign me up. I'm all in. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with The Boys season 4, specifically the virus that said character found, that will definitely make some things interesting in The Boys 4 season 4. Yeah, man. Gen V, I'm very surprised. After everything is said and done, I was very skeptical going in, but then that first episode actually got me. I'm like, yeah, this is literally The Boys, but college form, really. Which you would think you would kind of be annoying in some ways, but no, it actually works a lot. I thoroughly enjoy The Boys. Gen V, my bad, because they go hand in hand. It feels like now I'm just synergizing them together in my head. But yeah, Gen V, don't sleep on it. Well, if you're a fan of The Boys, don't sleep on it. Also, watched Loki season 2, episode 4, I think, which was very good as well. It's hard to know where things are going, even more so now, in a way, considering how it ended. Well, you could kind of get an idea, I guess. But yeah, just seeing how I kind of do know, but I also don't really know. That's kind of how I feel. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm curious. So at least the finale, the next episode is going to be the finale. So I guess I'll find out later tonight, because I'm curious. I am curious. I will say that. That's for sure. That's 100%. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Also, Invincible season 2 premiere. That was last Thursday was a marquee night for television. It felt like had The Boys, had Loki, now Invincible premiering as well. Invincible season 2. It's weird mentally. I thought that this was technically the third season, because I think the first season had like a pretty substantial break and then started releasing other episodes. So at least in my head, I thought it was already two seasons already, but apparently not. So at least now, officially season 2. And I'm digging the direction where things are going. They're dabbling in the multiverses, the multiverse aspect now, which I believe is from the comics also. So it's funny, there is kind of like a Kang equivalent in a lot of ways. So I have been thoroughly enjoying that also. Just seeing their take on multiple universes and how that plays out. And it's interesting to see. Damn it, what is his name? I'm just gonna call him Invincible. I forgot his name. But seeing Invincible now in a post season 1 like light, where he's technically out of the league, or the coalition, whatever you call it, that fights crime and protects the earth after the events of the first season. So seeing him trying to get back and seeing just all the ramifications after what happened at the end of season one, it was kind of interesting. And of course, you know, the action and the gore is still there, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Also, I really dug what felt like Batman. Was it in Batman v Superman? I think it was, where they showed you this post-apocalyptic universe. Maybe it was Justice League. It might have been Justice League, where they showed you this alternate post-apocalyptic universe, and it's like, why are you showing us this? What does this imply? And you know, just to see that, and just see that, oh, that's a universe that exists, I guess. So yeah, without spoiling stuff, that's that's the most I can say about Invincible, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Oh, that was a great night for television. It really was. Then finally, we have finally got the end, reached the end of Attack on Titan. It's over. It's over. It's over. It is over. I'm so thankful. Yeah. So, yeah, after them stretching this down last season, final season, final season for real this time, EX Alpha Omega, final chapter. We finally got the last episode of Attack on Titan. It was pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was nice to finally just see a conclusion. I think that more than anything was like just had me invested. I'm like, okay, y'all been stringing this on for like what? Technically, yet again over a decade. Well, at least the course of this whole series has you know, transpired. But yeah, literally this whole series spanned over a decade, and yeah, at least it just feels so good to finally just have a conclusion to this damn series. I've just been at that point where it's like, okay, we're gonna give you one episode, and you're gonna have to wait a whole year for another episode, the last one. Actually, you know what? No, we're gonna have one more episode, and then the one after that is gonna be the last one. It's like, all right, guys, come on now. You just pull my leg at this point. Let's just rip that Band-Aid off right now. Let's get it over with. So, yes, it was great. Without spoiling anything, it was great. Things were concluded. Have some weird disagreements with like the end. It is not as happy or happy as you would like. But I mean, at the same time, the more I thought about it, it is realistic. I will say that. I definitely needed some YouTube videos to decompress what I just saw afterward, to kind of get a full understanding, because I definitely was a little lost after, you know, seeing it fully, the ending fully. But now I have come to grasp. I have come to grasp reality in regards to the ending of this. So, yeah, man, Attack on Titan is finally over. I'm glad we got to witness it. You know, it fully run its whole course. So, yeah, man, I really would like to be the person that, like, you know, just never like caught on the Attack on Titan bandwagon, what have you, and just watched this, you know, fully throughout, all the way through. But they're gonna be in for a treat. I think that person may enjoy this way more than I have, because I felt like there are also segments where I forgot a lot of elements because they spaced out these these episodes so long from one another. So yeah, I think I don't know, maybe at some point in time I may want to rewatch it fully now to see, kind of get maybe a different just to feel something, you know. Just to get see how I feel after it. Now it's all been said and done. Not having all this damn space in between each other. So finally over. I can now rest, I guess. Cause yes, every day I was just being angry. Like, why isn't the last episode of Attack on Titan happened? Why isn't there no conclusion? But I digress. Yeah, it's over. It's over. So yeah, with that being said, that concludes this episode of Switch Your Sights. Yeah, man. Where do we go from here? I don't know. Yeah. Well, if you did like this podcast, feel free to like, rate, and subscribe on your various podcasting and video platforms. Greatly appreciated. You can watch me record this live on Twitch TV/aswitch. You can catch the archives of this on youtube.com/aswitch. And until next time, y'all, get your damn game on. Feel free to fuck. Aw, yeah. Nobody's safe.